Hello, I am Professor Prakash Rao, Tunga College, Tirthalli. I am MCOM coordinator of Tunga College, Tirthalli. In this video, I am going to explain you on the subject Ind AS. In the current video, I am taking the topic Ind AS 10 events after reporting period. In this video, I am giving some theoretical explanation with regarding Ind AS 10 and few examples relating to Ind AS as to how it can be interpreted. Ind AS 10 relates and explains about whether the events after reporting period should be adjusted in the financial statements or not. The standard classifies the events after the reporting period into adjusting events and non-adjusting events. First, the student should understand what is events after reporting period. You must be knowing that the balance sheet date is referred as the reporting period. An event which could be favorable or unfavorable that occurs between the end of the reporting period, that is balance sheet date, and the date that the financial statements are authorized to issue. It means after the balance sheet date, the board of directors will convene a board meeting and they will authorize the financial statements. So there will be gap between the balance sheet date and the authorization date, that is board meeting date. In between these dates, that is balance sheet date and the board meeting date, some events which may be important or significant may take place. Those events may be classified according to Ind AS as adjusting event and non-adjusting event. Adjusting events are the events after the reporting period that provides evidence of conditions that existed at the end of the reporting period. That means there will be a clue of happening of the event that may take place after the reporting period will exist before the balance sheet date. Whereas a non-adjusting event is an event that will not provide any evidence of conditions existed at the end of the reporting period and takes place without any earlier indication before the reporting period. It means before the balance sheet date there will be no clue of possibility of the happening of the event after the balance sheet date. Of course, the event after the reporting period ends on the board meeting date. Now, how to adjust these adjusting events and non-adjusting events as per Ind AS 10? Adjust the financial statements for adjusting events. That means if the event causes any financial implication, then that should be adjusted in the balance sheet. That means financial statements, balance sheet as well as the profit and loss account, as the case may be. And do not adjust non-adjusting events. Events or conditions that arose after the end of the reporting period are not to be adjusted in the balance sheet. Of course, with regarding the non-adjusting event, if the event is significant, the fact should be declared or stated along with the balance sheet. In case, for example, the company declares dividends, you know that normally the net profit is shown in the balance sheet, but dividend is authorized by the board in their board meeting that takes place after the reporting period. But as the dividend is declared later on in the board meeting that is actually recommended by the board, it will not become a liability at the date of the balance sheet. So it should be treated as non-adjusting event. Dividend declaration by the board or recommendation of the dividend by the board should be treated as non-adjusting event. In case of going concern issues arising after end of the reporting period, an entity shall not prepare its financial statement on a going concern basis if the management determines after the end of the reporting period either that it intends to liquidate the entity or to cease trading, or that it has no realistic alternative but to do so. It means after the reporting period, if the management has the opinion that the concern cannot run in future, or it has to close down its business or cease its trading, then the balance sheet should reflect the current assets and current liabilities at the market rates or possibility of liquidation values. With regarding the disclosures, the non-adjusting events should be disclosed if they are such importance that non-disclosure would affect the ability of the users to make proper evaluation and decisions. Though the non-adjusting events are not adjusted in the balance sheet and financial statements, if the event is significant, the required declaration is in the nature of event. That means what is the event, what is the nature of the event, what would be the financial effect of that event. If the financial effect of the event cannot be estimated, then the fact that it cannot be estimated at present, that should also be declared. And later on, the company should update the disclosures that relate to the conditions that existed at the end of the reporting period. As and when new information is obtained, the company is liable to update such informations. With regarding the examples as to how Ind AS 10 should be applied in practical cases, we can consider few examples. In example 1, it is given that Company A Limited has prepared its financial statements for the year ended 31st March 2020. Today's date is 2nd May 20, and the Board of Directors have convened a meeting to authorize the financial statements for the issue on 9th May 2020. Here the events after balance sheet date means events after 31st March 20 and before 9th May 20. In this example, it is given that on 2nd April 20, the Company A Limited received a letter from the liquidator stating that Major Limited, a major customer of Company A Limited, had gone into liquidation. The trade receivable account shows Major Limited owing rupees 30 lakh, which represents 60% of the overall trade receivables. That means a significant portion of the client is accounted in the receivables, and the company is not able to receive any amount. The liquidator has confirmed that it has not expected that any surplus funds will be available for distribution. That means company is not going to receive any amount. This is the fact. That means after 31st March, on 2nd April, this fact is informed to the company by the liquidator. But a debtor will not be declared insolvent within 2 days after the balance sheet closure. The incident must have been started before the balance sheet date. So there is an evidence of possibility of such happening will be there before the balance sheet date. In the example 1, Company A Limited's major customer had gone into liquidation. The year-end financial statements contain the major customer's trade receivables debit balance. This is an adjusting event. The financial year end is 31st March 20, and the company received information from the liquidator on 2nd April 20. That means just after 2 days of the closure of the balance sheet date, the incident of insolvency came into the knowledge of the board of directors. And the actual fact is the board of directors or the company will know the possibility of such insolvency. If we do not adjust the financial statements to reflect the fact that debt is not recoverable, then the financial statements are misleading. That means it is a significant amount, 30 lakh rupees, and the debtor accounts 60% of the overall trade receivable, and the fact of insolvency uh, has actually known to the company. The possibility of the fact will be knowing to the company, so this should be treated as adjusting event. The event should be recognized as event of bad debts and adjusting event. In another example, Company B Limited has prepared its financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2019. Today's date is 2nd March 20. Board of Directors have convened a meeting to authorize the financial statements for the issue on 9th March 20. So events after balance sheet date refers to events after 31st March 19 and before 9th March 20. On 10th February 20, Company B Limited's main production warehouse burned down. Damage is expected to run into significant sums of money. So, fire accident has taken place, the damage is significant. Now the interpretation can be made like this. The Company B Limited suffered a fire at its main production warehouse. This is an example of non-adjusting event because possibility of catching fire will not be known before it catches fire. That means before the balance sheet date. The reason is a non-adjusting event because at the reporting date it was impossible to foresee that the production warehouse would burn down. In this instance, it would not be appropriate to make a provision in the financial statement. That means in the balance sheet, no adjustment should be made. So this event should be treated as non-adjusting event. In another example, example number 3, Company C Limited has prepared its financial statements for the year ended 29th February 20. On 31st March 20, the company gave a rights issue of its equity shares to its shareholders. In the example, we are required to identify whether the scenarios are adjusting event or non-adjusting event. Right issue was made after the reporting date and therefore the rights attached to the shares are not available until after the reporting date. Therefore, this would be classified as a non-adjusting event. The possibility of issuing right cannot be taken as within the balance sheet date and no right issue has made or rights attached to the shares available before the balance sheet date. So it should be treated as non-adjusting event, which we can consider still more example. Another example, example number 4. MAC Limited purchased goods on credit from Toy Limited for 580 lakhs for export. The export order was cancelled. MAC Limited decided to sell the same goods in the local market with a price discount. It means a company purchases goods from Toy Limited, another company, for 580 lakhs for the purpose of export. Because it lost export order, it has decided to reduce the price. That means it wants to sell the goods obtained from Toy Limited at a discount. Toy Limited was requested to offer a price discount of 10%. After this incident, that company requested Toy Limited to reduce the price by 10%. Whether this incident should be considered as an adjusting event. Also, Toy Limited entered into a sale deal for its land on 15th March 20. That is, okay, date is not given, but the registration was done with the registrar on 20th of April 2020. But before registration, is it possible to recognize the sale and gain at the balance sheet date? Give your reasons to support your answer. We shall interpret. There are two aspects here, two events here, events after the balance sheet. We should consider as events after the balance sheet. The first one, Toy Limited had sold goods to MAC Limited on credit worth rupees 580 lakhs and the sale was completed in all respects. MAC Limited's decision to sell the same in domestic market at a discount will not affect the amount recorded as sales by Toy Limited. Toy Limited sale ಮಾಡಿ ಆಗಿದೆ 580 lakhs ಅಂತ ಅದು ತನ್ನ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಟಾರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ನೋಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಈಗ ಅದು ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ 10%. ಅದರ ಕಾರಣ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ಈ ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ನಾನ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತನೋ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ದಿ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ 10% ಆಫರ್ಡ್ ಬೈ Toy Limited after request of Mac Limited was not in the nature of discount given during the ordinary course of trade. ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ಸೇಲ್ ಆದ ನಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಂತಹ ಕಂಪನಿಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ 10% ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಒಪ್ಪಿದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಆ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ 580 ಲಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಈ ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸೇಲ್ ಆಗೋ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ 580 lakhs ನಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. However, there appears to be an uncertainty relating to collectability of the debt which has arisen subsequent to sale. ಈಗ ಮಾರಾಟ ಆದ ನಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ 10% ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟ್ ಕೊಡದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಅನ್ನೋದೊಂದು ಕಾರಣ ಇದೆ. Therefore, it would be appropriate to make a separate provision to reflect the uncertainty relating to collectability. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಹಾಗೆ 10% ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದೇ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಹೊರತು ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ಫಿಗರ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಅದನ್ನ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. Hence, such discount should be charged to profit and loss account and not shown as deduction from the sales figure. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆದರೆ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಷ್ಟು ಹೊರತು ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಫಿಗರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಆಂಬಿಗ್ಯೂಟಿ ಇದೆ ಇದು, ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಂಬಿಗ್ಯೂಟಿನೂ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಫಿಗರ್ ನ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ. With respect to sale of land, that is another incident, both sale and gain on sale of land earned by Toy Limited shall be recognized in the books at the balance sheet date. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಒಂದು ಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ, ಆದರೆ ಸೇಲ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಇದು ಸೇಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇದನ್ನ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ ದಿ ಅಬ್ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವಾಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆಂಟ್ ರಿಸ್ಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿವಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಓನರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಟು ದಿ ಬಯರ್ before the balance sheet date, and what was pending was merely a formality to register the deed. The registration ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಫಾರ್ಮಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಮಾತ್ರ ಬಾಕಿ ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದು. The registration post balance sheet date only confirms the condition of sale at the balance sheet date as per Ind AS, and this should be treated as adjusting event as per Ind AS. Now, what we should actually consider or observe in relation to Ind AS 10. It is important when applying Ind AS 10 to understand what condition exists after the reporting date. ಅಂದರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಆದ ನಂತರ, ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಆದ ನಂತರ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಮಧ್ಯದ ಅವಧಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಘಟನೆಗಳಾದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗಮನಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು, ದಿ ಕೀ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಟ್ರೈ ಅಂಡ್ ಕನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ವೆದರ್ ಈವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಿ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಡೇಟ್ provide evidence of conditions that existed at the reporting date. ರಿಪೋರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಡೇಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಡೇಟ್, ಆ ಡೇಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂದೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ, ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಘಟನೆಗಳು ನಡೆದಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ಗಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಘಟನೆ ನಡೀತದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣಗಳು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ ಆವಾಗ ಅದು ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ಆ ಥರದ ಯಾವುದೇ ಘಟನೆಗಳು ನಡೆಯೋ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸೂಚನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ನಾನ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದಟ್ ನಾನ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಡು ನಾಟ್ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ ದಿ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ನಾನ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ದಿ ಈವೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆಂಟ್, ದೆನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ಲೋಷರ್ ಬೈ ವೇ ಆಫ್ ನೋಟ್ ಟು ದಿ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಮೇಡ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಘಟನೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ, ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಡುವಂತ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ಲೋಷರ್ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ಲೋಷರ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಿ ನೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಇವೆಂಟ್, ಆ ಇವೆಂಟ್ ಯಾವ ತರದ್ದು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದರ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಏನು, ಆನ್ ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಫೆಕ್ಟ್. ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ cannot be decided, then a statement that such estimate is unable to made, ಆ ಥರದಲ್ಲಿ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಹಾಕ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ವಿವರನ್ನಾದರೂ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬೈ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ನಾನ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಎನ್ಶೂರಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಪ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ಸ್. ನಾನ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ವಿವರವನ್ನು ಕೊಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಬಳಸುವವರಿಗೆ ಕಂಪನಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಹಾಗೆ ನಿರ್ಧಾರಗಳನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಷ್ಟು ಇಂಡೇಸ್ 10 ಅಂದರೆ ಈವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಡುವಂತಹ ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್. ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.